After a series of rate cuts through this year, we are in a pause mode as was expected. Taking the advantage of this downward trajectory, debt funds have given some stellar performance in the last few years. But let's find out if debt funds would continue to have an edge and which category of funds are expected to remain attractive and fit well in your portfolio. And we have with us today Harsh Rungta, CEO of ApnaPaisa.com, joining us and to share his valuable insights with regard to your investments in the debt fund category. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. My first question really to you is, clearly with us in a pause mode currently, how best can one leverage on their debt funds?
RBI policy obviously has a very important impact on the debt funds overall on entire economy. Definitely on debt funds it has an immediate impact. But I think as far as investors are concerned, the strategy has to be long term. So how much money goes to debt and how much money goes to equity? I think that's a allocation strategy that is decided independent of the RBI policies, and very clearly within the debt category for high taxpayers, which means anybody whose taxable income is more than 5 lakh rupees. I think for them debt funds make sense, especially if they are planning to hold on to the money for more than 3 years. So I think the strategy on debt funds is independent of the RBI policy.
Over the last few years, we've seen some very good returns coming in from debt funds across different categories, and that of course had an impact with the way the interest rate has moved. So even if you look at small saving schemes or fixed deposit, others, they also are seeing lower returns now, and therefore do you think that while one has to tone down the returns expectation, debt funds will continue to have an edge?
I think debt funds will definitely continue to have an edge, and various categories within debt funds will continue to have an edge. So I mean, if you're investing for the short term, and all these make sense for high taxpayers. So with that background, clearly, if your money requirement or your investment requirement is short term, then an arbitrage fund with dividend declaring happening every month, I think that is the fund to go for post-tax. That gives you quite good returns, and that will continue to give you good returns, which compared to a fixed deposit or a deposit with any other institution. If your funds are for longer, then obviously you have a choice between what are called debt funds, where the investment is in really long-term government securities typically, or in relatively medium-term or short-term. The real high returns on the debt funds have come in the category where the funds have been invested in long-term government securities, because the interest rates have come down quite significantly over the last 1 year. So I think will that happen going forward? I think that is not very easy to predict. So if you have already booked profits, and maybe if you don't want to take an exposure on long-term gilt funds, then maybe you can shift part of your investments to relatively lower term debt funds. But I think debt funds will continue to make sense for people who want to invest in fixed income securities.
So, sir, would it be correct to say, therefore, that the gilt funds are relatively less attractive at this point in time?
I would not say that they are relatively less attractive, because there is a possibility that interest rates may fall even further. The governor indicated as such that they continue to remain in an accommodative stance, and if circumstances allow, they will provide interest rates reductions in the future. as well, depending on the price and external situation. Uh, be that as it may, I mean, this is the risk probably is a little higher right now, and probably it requires much closer monitoring than it did earlier. So maybe what the investors could do is that rather than take the decisions themselves on investing in long-term gilt funds, they could invest in what are called dynamic bond funds, where the fund manager takes the duration decision. That the fund manager might invest in long-term or in medium-term bonds depending on his outlook of the market. So I think in the current situation, instead of actively managing yourself, for investors who are not able to actively manage themselves or don't have a professional manager who can help them manage, they can probably invest in dynamic bond funds, where the fund manager of the fund house will decide on the duration.
So, you're suggesting, sir, that at this point in time, especially because, if we are looking at the interest rate cycle, and then let the fund manager do the decision making for you, and that probably would work better with the dynamic bond funds.
For most investors, I would say that those investors who don't have the ability to manage this requires closer monitoring than, say, it did 6 months ago or a year ago, where it was clear that interest rates were going to go down. So it was more of a almost an idiot-proof investment. Right now, the situation is a little more fluid, and hence, if you are not able to keep on top of it yourself, you entrust that responsibility either to a fund manager by doing a dynamic bond fund, or you have an investment advisor who will advise you to move in and out of the durations as he deems fit.
So, where do the fixed maturity plans stack up in the entire debt funds category?
So I think fixed maturity plans are a great substitute for bank fixed deposits. If you need the money on a specific date, I think for that the fixed maturity plans are a pretty good substitute. I mean, obviously an FMP makes sense only if it is 3 years or more from a tax perspective, clearly. The only issue with an FMP is liquidity. I mean, if you want to get out for any reason, you need the funds before the maturity date, it is very difficult or very expensive to get out of them.
So, the important aspect that probably we are going to see unfold in the coming few days is perhaps the government's decision with regard to the small saving schemes and where it stands in terms of the returns, given that there is, of course, the government has categorically pointed out that they would be revising or looking at reviewing the small savings rate, and in light of that, those who probably use this small savings avenue in terms of investments, what would you recommend if you were to give them an alternative in terms of from debt fund categories?
So I think even today the small funds are having a variable rate, except that it varies only once a year on 1st April of every year. What I think the government has agreed, and which the RBI governor has stated, also finance ministry official has stated, is that they are looking at more frequent changes in the small savings schemes. So there is a small window of opportunity right now, and obviously if the changes are going to happen now, they are going to happen downwards. So the real window of opportunity arises in schemes like the National Savings Scheme, where the interest rates are fixed once they are issued. A provident fund does not give you the same facility, because even if you take it when the rate is high, as and when the rate drops, it will drop for the existing investments as well. But something like a National Saving Certificate or an Indira Vikas Patra or a Kisan Vikas Patra, I think there the interest rate is fixed on the date of issue. So to that much extent, if somebody has the funds to invest in fixed income and wants to do small savings, I think there is a window of opportunity for him before the interest rates get more closely aligned to market rates, or rather they get more quickly aligned to market rates than the current situation.
All right, sir. Thank you as always for joining us here at Smart Money and giving extremely valuable insights for investors to really look at the way forward in terms of how to manage their debt fund portfolio. Okay, time for a quick break now to get our expert opinion on your finances. Email us or tweet us. After the break, we find out if you need to do anything special for retiring early. Keep watching Smart Money. Email and register your queries at smartmoney@btvin.com.